Alright. New SmarkCast. It's prediction SmarkCast. It's going to predict the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. For some reason, my prediction little SmarkCasts here get a little more views, so I'm always excited about that. I'm gonna cover a little bit more this time. I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do, and that's cover Ring of Honor. And I'll explain why, because it all connects, all of it. The main point right now that I'm going to be covering Money in the Bank, the predictions and everything. There's a few things I want to talk about on that because it's disappointing. Right now, I'm including SmackDown spoilers on this. I'm not going to say any SmackDown spoilers, but I'm going to say that there are no new matches added, which means that as of right now, as of Wednesday, 4 days before the pay-per-view, there are only 4 matches on the pay-per-view, and that includes the pre-show, which is not getting a match. And to me, that's very disappointing. That means they're going to have to add something, and that is saying that I do realize that the Money in the Bank ladder matches, one of them has 8 people, one of them has 7 people, and including entrances, both of those matches are going to take up roughly an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So that doesn't leave room for much more. Maybe the only hope I have is that the other 2 matches are going to get a little time, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I do believe they're going to be adding some matches, maybe 1 or 2, and I'll get to that. But right now, it's only 4 matches. And the big thing about those 4 matches is really there's no backstory between any of them. There's backstory within the matches, but the matches themselves have no backstory. I mean, the World Heavyweight Championship match, yeah, Daniel Bryan's out and they have to crown a new champion, but it's really just a bunch of dudes thrown together. Same thing with the other one. Paige and Naomi, match is just thrown together. The only one that has a little bit of backstory is Usos and the Wyatts, but they don't really. It hasn't really been focused on a lot. And that leads me to the first point of the SmarkCast is the problem with WWE right now is that they don't focus on matches anymore. And it's really disappointing. That I remember a time when, in my favorite, the New Generation era or even the Attitude Era, where we would have more than just one storyline going on. We would have a women's storyline, a mid-card storyline, 2 or 3 main event storylines, 2 or 3 mid-card storylines, and it was just amazing because we cared a lot more. And you know, you have the WWE wondering why their pay-per-view buys are dropping and why no one's getting the WWE network and everything like that, and it's because of this. It's because they don't focus on story anymore. You know, and then they try to rely on the match, and it's just not working because their matches aren't that great. You know, they have some really good matches every now and then, but for the most part they're just like, let's give them 7 minutes and see what they can do with it, and that doesn't work. So that's a problem, and it's fixable. You can fix that. A lot of people are saying, well, it's just the time right now. Everything's been done before. And you know, and that's not true because, and this leads me to my second point, Ring of Honor had a pay-per-view on Sunday called Best in the World, and everyone's already shouting, oh, they stole that from CM Punk. No, they didn't. They've been doing Best in the World since before CM Punk was saying Best in the World, because that's where CM Punk got it. CM Punk is originally from Ring of Honor. And they had a pay-per-view, and without a doubt, it was one of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen in my life. You can take the past year's worth of WWE pay-per-views, including WrestleMania, and everything TNA's done in the past 5 years. Combine all of that, and this Ring of Honor pay-per-view was better than all of that. Because Ring of Honor knows how to put on a show. It was Ring of Honor's very first pay-per-view. They do pay-per-views, and their pay-per-views are great too, but they're a little harder to get to. Their very first pay-per-view, and it was just absolutely astonishing how great it was. There were only 7 matches. Every match went over 15 minutes. and every match had a story behind it. Every single one, all 7, had a story. I'm not going to bother you with the names of the matches because the people who watch my SmarkCast don't normally watch Ring of Honor. I'll just tell you that it was an amazing show. And my wife watched it with me, just sitting on the couch. She'd heard of Ring of Honor, heard me talking about it and stuff like that. She'd never actually seen Ring of Honor. I told her it's a little like NXT, where it's kind of there's not a huge budget, and it's a bunch of younger guys trying to say, "Hey, I'm here," and it shouldn't take notice. And so she watched the show, and it blew her away. She had never seen it before, and she was like, "Wow, why can't WWE do this?" I mean, the words came out of her mouth, "Why can't WWE do this?" It all came to a head when the Briscoes, one of the best tag teams on the planet, faced Matt Hardy, and it was just weird. I'm not going to name any names. Forgot. And after the match ended, the match went about 15, 16 minutes, and the only words out of her mouth were, "Wow, that was how you do a tag team match." And she fell in love with Ring of Honor. And the thing about Ring of Honor, pay-per-views are $25. For $25, people can take recognition of a better company, of a company who has style and grace and can actually just put on a show. It was just, the matches themselves were just so good. The main event for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, amazing. Everything about it was just astonishing. 5-star pay-per-view. Great pay-per-view. I mean, it was just out of this world amazing. And the whole time I was watching, it just depressed me more and more that WWE can't do this. WWE hasn't put on this caliber of a pay-per-view in years. And it's sad. I said it a couple of SmarkCasts ago, that to be perfectly honest, to be bluntly honest with you, I no longer give a crap about the WWE. They haven't given me something. You have to give me something to care about, and they haven't. Not in a long time. I mean, it started with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's march up to the top, and when he won the titles, it was beautiful. It was awesome. I enjoyed every minute of it. And then as soon as he got the title, it's like WWE said, "Well, now what? Now what do we do?" And they didn't know what to do. They gave him Kane, and it's like, ugh, no, because they were like, well, why don't we tie the 3 top heels up in one match, and then give Daniel Bryan some guy he's fought 1,000 times. They could have given him Bray Wyatt. They could have given him an infinite number of people to fight, but they didn't. Instead, they give him kind of a one-off with Kane and try to involve Brie Bella, and it just fell apart, all of it. The biggest thing was Shield and Evolution, and that just kind of fell apart too. I mean, they could have continued it. They could have, once Seth Rollins backstabbed everybody, they could have continued it with Seth Rollins, Orton, and Triple H versus Reigns, Ambrose, and they could have got an extra person. But they didn't. Instead, they kind of they didn't even allude to the Shield splitting up. They just split them up. One day, Ambrose had a new theme song, and Reigns didn't come out to help him when he needed him. It was just like, oh, yeah, the Shield's done now. And it was just kind of, ugh, it was a mess, all of it. And now, at this point in WWE, you got to think about this. They have no storylines right now. None. I take that back. They have Rusev and Big E. But other than that, they really have nothing. They have Stephanie announcing that the title's going to be on the line at Money in the Bank. And, well, okay, that's cool. But, put a little style, put a little storyline into it. Make it worth something. Make John Cena there that say, no, I'm going to get this belt, and I'm going to hold on to it, and as soon as I get it, Daniel Bryan gets a shot at it. Have Randy Orton be out there, well, I'm going to prove to you that I'm the face of the company. They don't have that. It's just these guys are going to go for the belt. And to me personally, I think this ladder match is going to suck because it's a bunch of big dudes that no one cares about and then 3 good guys. As Cesaro, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns are the only ones I want to see in this thing. So, all that being said, my long rant on Ring of Honor being better than WWE right now. I wish they had a television show. I would give anything. I would give my kidneys for TNA to just go away and for Ring of Honor to take their place on Spike. I would give anything for that. Because TNA is just utter garbage right now. I mean, TNA, at least they have storylines, but the storylines are terrible. Bobby Lashley is the champion now? Come on. Is this 2002? What the heck? You know, and it's like, I'm tired of the way they do things over there. It's just like, yeah, let's give the guy who used to be in WWE the championship over the guy who deserves it, Eric Young or Magnus. You know, let's give it to the WWE reject. It'll be okay. And it's just, it's stupid. Kurt Angle wants out. There's a reason why everyone wants out of that company. It's going down. It's going to go down. Oh, yeah, we sold out New York. Yeah, you sold out New York by blacking out over 5,000 seats. You sold a grand total of 2,000 seats. Okay. Ring of Honor does that every day on non-televised events. WWE does that every day on non-televised events. TNA is nothing special because their storylines are garbage. Their wrestler, and it's a shame because they've got some of the best wrestlers in the business. But enough about TNA because I don't like talking about TNA because I don't like having negativity in my life, and that's all TNA is negativity. But I want Ring of Honor. I would love Ring of Honor to take their place because mainly I just want Ring of Honor to get noticed. Because if people would take notice of Ring of Honor would grow immensely and quickly. It would take maybe 2 years for it to be a powerhouse. And WWE would be forced to actually try. That's the reason why WWE sucks right now. There is no competition. TNA is nowhere near competition. And they're just going to have to start really trying because one of these days Ring of Honor is going to come up from behind and bite them on the ass. That's just the way it's going to be because Ring of Honor is awesome. They are right now they're blowing WWE out of the water. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and get to the pay-per-view and my predictions. We're going to start with the Usos and the Wyatts, which I've been screaming for months that the Wyatts are going to beat the Usos for the titles, and this is it. Money in the Bank is it. This is where it ends. No more Usos hold the titles. Wyatts will take it. I have no doubt in my mind that the Wyatts will take that belt, those belts. Because, honestly, there's nothing left for the Usos. The Usos have beaten everybody, and with the tag team division the way it is, just nothing to do with it. You know, it's they wanted to build up the tag team division, and now they can't because there's no one in there. They can bring in the Ascension from NXT, but that essentially demolishes the tag team division in NXT because that's all that NXT has is Ascension. So I'm thinking the Wyatts take this because the Wyatts can beat anybody. The Wyatts can put on a good show with anybody. The Usos need to be in there with another tag team. So, Wyatts are winning that one, no problem. Usos, I don't know what they're going to do with them. They'll probably give them a rematch or something on Raw, but I don't picture this going any other way. They're probably going to give them roughly 15 minutes because the Wyatts need to put on a show in here. Rowan and Harper are an amazing tag team. After this, we have, I didn't write any of these down, so I'm doing this off the top of my head. Paige and Naomi, which was thrown together on the Go Home Raw when you could have had a build-up, a nice build-up for Naomi and Paige, because this is out of respect. These are two faces going at it. The only other thing about this is Cameron is a little jealous which Cameron shouldn't even be in the WWE. She should have been released with the illustrious 11 that were released recently. She should be gone. Cameron brings nothing to the table. She is okay on the mic at best. She is a highly annoying human being and has zero talent in the ring. So Cameron just needs to go. I can't stand that girl. I don't like her as much as I don't like Alicia Fox. Both of them are just no talent hacks. The Divas division is just crappy right now. We have Paige, Natalya, Naomi, Emma, who is just not even been on TV in a long time, and I'm worried they're gonna release her, and she's one of the best people they got. So we don't have much nowadays. And then the Divas division has kind of crumbled since AJ left. Kind of sucks. And who knows when she'll be back. There's rumors that AJ's pregnant now, and if she's pregnant, she ain't gonna be back for 9 months. I don't believe that she is pregnant, but I mean, I know that her and CM Punk got married on Friday the 13th, which is weird. I was going to do that with my wife until my wife found out it was Friday the 13th, and she was like, no. So, yeah. My wife's a superstitious person. But Paige and Naomi is being built, that it's all about respect and everything. And the thing about this match is this is not an actual match. It's a segue to another match. So, in my opinion, Paige and Naomi, Paige wins it. Paige keeps the title. That's the main focus. But Cameron interferes in this match somehow, some way, and causes Naomi to lose. Naomi is very mad and like, what are you doing? Cameron's just, I'm trying to help. And Cameron attacks Naomi, leading to a Paige versus Cameron versus Naomi triple threat match at the next pay-per-view. That's where I see this going. I don't see this ending right here, and unfortunately they're gonna insert Cameron into it, leading to a split of the Funkadactyls, which I don't care about at all. I wish this would lead to a split of the Funkadactyls and Cameron being released from the company. So either way. Paige wins. Paige keeps the title. I don't know how she wins. It's either by DQ or something. I don't know. But Paige will hold on to the title. I'm guessing she beats Naomi by disqualification. So anyway, okay, now we have the money. Well, actually, I'm going to say that Rusev and Big E is going to be added. It's going to be a tough match. Rusev's going to win it. They're because they're still kind of pushing him. They don't need him to lose just yet. They need to make him look like a powerhouse for the next few months. So that's probably going to happen too. Rusev and Big E's going to be added. And now we got to the briefcase ladder match, the one I'm actually looking forward to. Let's see. I'm going to try to remember all the competitors at the top of my head. Swagger. Oh my God. When they announced his name, I almost threw my remote through the TV because there's no reason that dude should be in there. He has been losing for weeks, months. He's been losing, and there's no point in him being in that match. And then on SmackDown, Swagger may have injured Barrett. He has a separated shoulder. He may not be in the ladder match. Barrett, the one person I'm looking forward to in the ladder match, may not be in the ladder match, which is garbage, and I'm getting sick and tired of Swagger injuring people and not getting punished for it. He's injured Ziggler. He's now injured Barrett. He's injured a bunch of people before that, and dude just needs to be fired. He offers nothing. He's not fun to watch in the ring unless he's in there with someone who can carry him. He's boring. He used to be so good. Like, I used to love watching Swagger, but then the years passed, and he never changed. He's been the same character, the same moveset, everything for years. And people complain that Cena's this way, but they don't complain about Swagger being this way. It's weird. But Swagger just needs to be fired. He's injured too many people. Same thing with Alberto Del Rio and Ryback. They've all injured too many people to have a job right now. But anyway, Swagger, Barrett maybe, Ziggler, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Kofi Kingston, and I don't remember the 7th one. It doesn't matter. I've already said who I think is going to win. A lot of people think that this is going to be the Rollins and Ambrose show. It is going to be the Rollins and Ambrose show, but neither of them are going to win. Because I think one of those two should win, because I want one of them to have the briefcase, and every time, let's say Rollins wins the briefcase, every time he goes to cash it in, Ambrose stops him. And it just continues like this for months, leading to a huge feud for the briefcase. Whoever wins gets the briefcase, which would be fantastic. It would be an awesome show. I would love for that to be about the feud. So that's what I want to happen. I want Rollins or Ambrose to win that, so we can have that scenario. I was up for Barrett winning it, but with Barrett being injured, don't think so. So I'm going to who I originally thought would win it, and that's Dolph Ziggler. I'm saying Dolph Ziggler wins the briefcase again. And because the dude deserves it. He's been in the doghouse for years, just for saying something about Randy Orton, which is stupid. So I'm saying Ziggler wins this because it's the only one that makes sense. Swagger, in no way. No one wants to see that. Barrett could be injured, and he has the Intercontinental belt right now, so we need to focus on that. Ambrose and Rollins are going to be feuding. Kofi Kingston, he's there whenever he's in a Royal Rumble or a ladder match. He's there for the spots. He's going to put on a show. He's going to have that one moment that everyone wants to see, that everyone, is like, oh wow, that was crazy. That's what he's there for. He's not there to win. And I don't remember the 7th competitor, and I'm sorry. That shows you how much I honestly care. RVD, there's the other one. There's no way he's going to win it. RVD will not stick around long enough to hold a briefcase. So, no RVD. Sorry, RVD fans. And he's slowed down a lot. He's not as good as he used to be, but it's okay. He's getting up there in age. So Ziggler takes this Money in the Bank. That's what I'm claiming. That's what my prediction is. Ziggler. All right, and which leads us to the main event, the one I really don't care about. Sorry. The 8-man Money in the Bank for the WWE World Heavyweight Championships, because they still have 2 belts, which makes 0 sense. That's just so dumb. They need to just take away the original World Heavyweight belt and just have them carry around the new, ugly WWE belt that is the laziest piece of crap belt I've ever seen. It's just a big W on it. I hate that. Anyway, this one I don't care about because there's only 2 outcomes that make sense. Go over the competitors if I can. Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Cesaro. Kane just got added on Monday, which Kane's been in like every Money in the Bank, and it's never a good show for him. Sheamus, Randy Orton, John Cena, and I'm missing one. I'm missing one, and that's okay. I don't really care. It's basically you have the 3 that everyone wants to win it: Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, and Cesaro. Everyone wants these guys to win it, and it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. The reason being is whoever wins this goes on to SummerSlam to face Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, and essentially the person who wins this is a placeholder for Brock Lesnar or Daniel Bryan. It's just going to be given back to Daniel Bryan in the end. That's the end goal here. So I would love Bray Wyatt to win it, because it would lead to an epic feud. When Bray Wyatt wins the title, and he will win the title, he will win it. When Bray Wyatt wins the title, I want it to be a long title run, because he deserves it, and it would be epic. Roman Reigns, I would love to see a Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match, but not right now. Roman Reigns is not ready for that belt yet. He will be. He will win it. He will be a top dog. He will probably be face of the company before you know it. Cesaro, same thing with Bray Wyatt. I want him to have a lengthy title reign. And I'm not sure that they know what to do with Cesaro. However, this is what I want. I always do a fantasy booking thing here. What I want is Cesaro to win this title. I do want him to win it. And I want him to go on to SummerSlam where Brock Lesnar comes out and it's like, oh yeah, I'm challenging you for your title. And then it causes a feud between the two and Paul Heyman's stuck in the middle. He doesn't want to choose sides. He wants both of them because you've got Brock Lesnar, the guy who ended the Undertaker streak, on this side, and you've got Cesaro, the World Heavyweight Champion, on this side. He can't choose, and it'll lead to an epic match. And I just think that would be a great feud. Just a Paul Heyman being stuck in the middle of his two guys. And Cesaro's a little jealous because all Paul Heyman ever talks about is how Brock Lesnar beat the streak. So we have good stuff. That ain't going to happen, but that would be amazing if it did. It would be a great show. That's what I'm saying. I should be writing for the WWE because I think I could put on much better storylines than anybody else. Okay, but anyway, those three are not going to win it. And then you got Sheamus. Sheamus, once again, he's the guy there for the spots. He's not going to win it. He's already U.S. champion. He's got that to worry about. And then you got Alberto Del Rio. No, he's in the same boat as Swagger. No one wants to see him win. No one wants to see Alberto Del Rio hold that title again. Just no. He's boring. The thing is, he's really good in the ring. He really is great in the ring. But it's just he's just boring. The way he does things is very methodical, but it's very boring. I'm missing one, and it'll come to me after I get done with this, but I genuinely don't care who it is. So, alright, now the ones that make sense. One was added. The ones that make sense are Randy Orton. Randy Orton wins it and goes on to face Brock Lesnar. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I kind of want to see it. But Randy Orton is the one who hands it over to Daniel Bryan. It makes sense because Randy Orton is part of the Authority. Daniel Bryan beats the Authority again, so that makes sense. So he has a chance of winning it. Randy Orton has that chance. Kane, that's another one. This one is a little messy in the way it makes sense. If Kane actually wins these titles, he goes on to face Brock Lesnar, who beat his brother's streak. The problem, the reason, the way it becomes messy, is because that would almost require a Kane face turn, and he can't really be the Demon Kane and be a face. He can't do that. It would be him just trying to defend his brother, and that's a very face action. And it becomes messy, but it's possible if you think about it, because Kane doesn't stay on one side of the spectrum long. He's always heel for 6 months, face for 3 months, heel for 4 months. He always switches. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of reality for him to win it and go on to defend his brother, but the Authority kind of needs that powerhouse, that dangerous guy. Kind of thing. But with Randy Orton winning it, it could be a face turn for Randy Orton as well, because you have, it could be the Authority hires Brock Lesnar to take out Randy Orton because they want someone to hold the championship that Daniel Bryan hasn't beat. Daniel Bryan can't beat. So it could happen. That there's a whole thing in there. And so I want Cesaro to win it, but the person I think is going to win it is John Cena, because I know no one wants to see him be champ again, but you've got to think that it's the only thing that makes absolute sense. It's the only thing that really works, because he's a face. He can put on a good show with Brock Lesnar. He can beat Brock Lesnar and then go on to face Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan and John Cena can put on a good match. And you can hand that over to Daniel Bryan, have a short title run, and it won't hurt John Cena at all. It will not hurt him one bit, because he's gotten to that point where he can be beaten, and it won't hurt him. Same thing goes for Kane, same thing goes for Randy Orton. They can have a short title run, but they're so up at the top right now that it ain't going to hurt them to lose. And that's what we need right now. Cesaro, it's going to hurt him to lose that quick. Bray Wyatt, it might hurt him to lose that quick. Roman Reigns, that would probably destroy his momentum. So, you know, a lot of these people with John Cena, I'm sorry to everyone who's like, I don't want to see John Cena win it. It's the only thing that makes sense. And that's the whole reason that he's going to win. It doesn't make sense to have him lose this. He can carry it for a little while, and then when Daniel Bryan gets back, he drops it to Daniel Bryan and goes back down. So I'm thinking John Cena takes this, and I'm okay with that because it makes sense. But those are my predictions. John Cena wins the World Heavyweight Championship. Ziggler wins the briefcase. Paige wins by disqualification. Wyatt's win, and Rusev wins, which Rusev is not an official match yet. So the one last gripe I have is there's no match in the pre-show. It's an interview with Daniel Bryan. Not happy about that because, yeah, that's cool. We're going to get to see Daniel Bryan talk, but it's going to be, oh, when I get back, I'm going straight for that title. I'm coming back to get my title. I'm getting what's mine. That's basically what it's going to be. It's not going to be a huge thing. He may even mention Brie or something like that. I still want to know if Brie's pregnant because why did she quit? But either way. Oh, last thing. I wanted to dedicate this SmackDown to Vicky Guerrero. This SmarkCast. See, SmackDown and SmarkCast sound a lot. They have the same amount of syllables, and they start with an SM. Either way, SmarkCast, I want to dedicate it to Vicky Guerrero because Vicky Guerrero had an awesome showing on Raw. Some people were a little bit mad, like, oh, that's not a good send-off. Here's the thing. When someone's retiring or going away, they don't win. They always lose. It's just the way it is in the WWE. Think back of everyone who's retired. They always retired on a loss. Minus Edge. Edge is the only one who retired on a win, but that was a forceful retirement. He had to go. So people who retire on their own never win at the end. So she lost. But she got her revenge and she went out with respect. She took out 3 women before losing, which is awesome. And then she threw Stephanie in. Awesome again. So she went out great. Deserved those thank you Vicky chants. She was an amazing, amazing woman. I've been singing her praises for years. No one could get heat like her. And the whole tribute to Eddie at the end was beautiful. Actually, I'll be honest, I messed it up a little in the eyes when she pointed up to the heavens, said "I love you," talking to Eddie, and it was an awesome moment. And then she did the shake, which was even better. She came out to Eddie Guerrero's music, which is beautiful. Actually, she came out to the Guerrero's music because Eddie's music said "Viva la Raza." And then I lie, I cheat, I steal. She came out to No Viva La Raza and We lie, we cheat, we steal. That was at the end. Eddie Guerrero was teaming with Chavo, and that was their tag team thing. So she actually came out to the Guerreros theme song, which was even cooler. But it was a good moment. Yeah, people were like, "Oh, I can't believe they would disrespect her like that by putting her in this." It's like they had to. You go out on a loss. But she got her revenge, and it was a beautiful moment. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And Vicky, awesome woman. I know she will never see this, but I love her to death, and I'm going to miss her immensely because she was an amazing woman. I've met her twice before, and I can tell you this: she is one of the sweetest, nicest, kindest women on this planet. She is so sweet, so nice. So, thank you, Vicky, for your awesome career, amazing career, going out like a Guerrero, awesome. So, that is the end of SmarkCast. If you want to reach me on Twitter, it's @minusdarren, MINUSDARRIN, and you can reach me on email at smarkcast@gmail.com. Send me a line, drop me a question, whatever you want to do. Thank you for watching. This has been the SmarkCast Money in the Bank predictions.